You are exhausting yourself. Every morning, you put on a mask, rehearse your roles, straighten your costume, walk out the door, and perform a character you believe the world expects. You smile when you are angry. You speak when you have nothing to say. You nod when you disagree. You construct an image of stability, confidence, and perfection. But the moment you close the door at night, the full weight of the truth collapses onto you. You are an actor, and the frightened part of you, the one you work so hard to conceal, knows it. At any moment, the audience might realize the performance is fake. You live in a state of chronic low-grade panic that you will be exposed, that you are a fraud, that your confidence is a thin sheet of glass that could shatter from a single hard question or a cold stare. Most people believe confidence is a loud voice, being the center of attention, walking into a room and filling it with presence. They are wrong. That is not confidence. That is anxiety screaming for validation. Real confidence, the kind Machiavelli described, the kind the great Stoics possessed, the kind that makes a person dangerous in the deepest sense, is silent. It is not a performance. It is the absence of the need to perform. It is the ability to be disliked, to be misunderstood, to be judged, without your inner world collapsing. You are watching this because you are tired of the performance, tired of the gap between who you are and who you pretend to be. You want to know how to close that gap. You want to know how to build a reality so solid that you no longer have to fake it until you make it. I am going to show you how. But we will not be using positive affirmations. We will not be standing in front of mirrors lying to ourselves. We will be using the cold surgical tools of Niccolò Machiavelli, Alfred Adler, and Robert Greene to dissect your ego. We're going to kill the actor so the sovereign can breathe. The change I am about to describe is not for the weak. It requires surrendering the safety of being liked. But on the other side of that surrender is a level of power you have never touched. Let us begin the operation. The Machiavellian paradox: why the shell is killing you. Machiavelli, the man who understood power better than anyone in recorded history, wrote extensively about the distinction between appearing to possess a quality and actually possessing it. In The Prince, he famously noted that a ruler must sometimes be a great deceiver. But he also wrote something darker, something that speaks directly to your suffering today. People are so simple-minded and so dominated by immediate needs that a deceiver will always find someone willing to be deceived. Society trains you to be the deceiver. From school, from social media, from corporate hierarchies, you were taught that vulnerability is weakness, that if you show a crack in the armor, the wolves will come. So, you built the shell. You learn to fake competence, to fake enthusiasm, to fake agreement. But here is the Machiavellian paradox. The more energy you spend maintaining the shell, the weaker the creature inside becomes. Imagine a castle. If you spend all your gold building high walls and painting them in intimidating colors, but starve the inhabitants within, what happens when the siege comes? The walls may look formidable, but the defense will collapse within an hour. That is you. You are exhausted because your brain is running a simulation all the clock. What do they think of me? Did I say that correctly? Do I look awkward? Is my posture right? This is not confidence. This is hypervigilance. This is prey behavior, not predator behavior. The predator does not worry about how it looks to the deer. The lion does not check its reflection before the hunt. It simply is. True confidence begins with a brutal admission. You are not confident because you are lying. You are lying about your fears. You are lying about your desires. You are lying about your limits. And the world feels it. Human beings evolved to detect incongruence. When your words say, "I am strong," while your microexpressions, your tone, and your energy scream, "Please approve of me," people lose respect for you. They may not say so, but they feel it. They feel the vibration of someone who is begging. To stop performing, you must understand why you perform. You perform because you believe your true self is inadequate. You believe that if you dropped the act, you would be rejected. And perhaps you would. but that rejection is the fire you must walk through. The Adlerian Foundation, the terrifying freedom of not being liked. Let us examine this through Adlerian psychology. Alfred Adler, Freud's contemporary, had a theory that challenges everything you think you know about confidence. He argued that all human problems are interpersonal problems, and he argued that freedom, true terrifying freedom, consists of making peace with the fact that other people may not like you. Read that again. Most people define confidence as everyone liking me. Adler defines confidence as indifference to them not liking me. The person who fakes confidence is a slave to the audience. He's a marionette, and the strings are held by the opinions of his boss, his friends, his partner, his parents. If they smile, he feels fine. If they frown, he falls apart. This is a miserable existence. It is the existence of the court jester dancing for crumbs of approval. To become real, you must cut those strings. You must look directly at the possibility of being misunderstood, judged, or even hated, and accept this as the price of freedom. Imagine walking into a meeting. You have an opinion that runs against the group. Your false self stays silent, nods, and later seethes with self-contempt. Your real self speaks, not with aggression, but with calm. I don't agree with this direction. The room goes quiet. People look at you. Some are irritated, some are confused. In this moment of tension, the fake panics, but your real self remains in the tension. You do not rush to fill the silence. You do not apologize for occupying space. You allow the discomfort to exist. This capacity, the capacity to sit inside the discomfort of disapproval, is the foundation of high-status behavior. Machiavelli would have called this sovereign gravity. Gravity is not about being loved. It is about being substantial. It is about having a center of mass that lives inside you, not in other people's eyes. When you stop trying to convince people of your intelligence, you actually appear more intelligent. When you stop trying to convince people of your toughness, you actually appear tougher. Why? Because you are signaling that you do not need their vote. And in a world of petitioners, the person who is not petitioning anyone is the king. Virtù, adding steel to the philosophy. Adler gives us a philosophy. Machiavelli gives us the weapon. Machiavelli wrote about a concept called virtù. It does not translate as modern religious virtue or moral goodness. For Machiavelli, virtù meant valor, capability, energy, and the will to impose order on chaos. It is related to the Latin word vir, meaning man at his most complete. Fake confidence is passive. It hopes for a good outcome. It relies on fortune. Real confidence is virtù. It forces outcomes. In chapter 25 of The Prince, Machiavelli writes that fortune is a woman, and if you want to keep her submissive, you must beat and coerce her. Stripped of the metaphor, the point is brutal. The world yields to boldness. Most people fake confidence because they are passive. They wait for permission. They wait for the right moment. They wait for the certificate, the title, the invitation. The real person acts without permission. Robert Greene in the 48 Laws of Power embodies this in Law 28. Enter actions with boldness. If you are unsure whether to act, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitations will infect your execution. Everyone admires the bold. No one respects the timid. Hesitation is a leak in your confidence. When you hesitate, you signal to yourself and to the world that you do not trust your own judgment, that you are searching for a safety net. Being real means acting decisively even when you might be wrong. This is a critical distinction. Real confidence is not the certainty that you will be right. It is the certainty that you will survive being wrong. The performer is terrified of making mistakes because his entire identity is built on being flawless. The real player knows that mistakes are simply data. If you speak and turn out to be wrong, you correct and move on. You do not spiral. You do not agonize. You treat your actions like experiments. Think of a general on the battlefield. Does he know with certainty his strategy will work? No, but he cannot issue commands in a trembling voice. He must be decisive. His virtù lies in his commitment to action, not in the guarantee of the result. You must begin practicing aggressive competence. Stop speaking in hedges. Stop saying, I think maybe, perhaps, I suppose. Say what you mean, full stop. If you want a specific restaurant, say it. Let's go there. If you dislike the film, say, I didn't like it. If you love something unconventional, own it. Every time you censor yourself to fit in, you drink a drop of poison. You tell your subconscious, my true self is unacceptable. Do this for 10 years and you will not know who you are at all. You will become an empty shadow, entirely shaped by the expectations of a society that is not even paying attention to you. To reclaim your virtù, you must begin with small acts of rebellion against your own need to be liked. Wear the outfit you are afraid is too much. Ask the question you are afraid sounds stupid. Leave the conversation that bores you. This is not about being rude. It is about being sovereign. It is about drawing a boundary around your soul. The body, the animal you live inside. We cannot talk about confidence without talking about the animal you inhabit. Your mind and your body are a closed loop. You think you are faking confidence with your mind, but your body constantly betrays you. Amy Cuddy's research on presence underlines a fundamental truth. Your body leads and your mind follows. When you are performing, you compress. You cross your legs, protect your vital organs, round your shoulders. You make yourself smaller to avoid being a target. This is a posture of submission, and your brain, reading that posture, floods your bloodstream with cortisol, the stress hormone. You are literally chemically inducing your own anxiety. Machiavelli advised princes to keep their hands open and their gaze steady. Why? Because closed hands signal defensiveness, and darting eyes signal deception or fear. You must break this biological cycle. When entering a room, do not psych yourself up. Simply occupy space. Stand still. The most confident person in any room is usually the one who moves the least. Fidgeting is the release of nervous energy. Stillness is the containment of power. Think of the predator. The tiger does not tap its paw nervously. It does not glance around anxiously. It is absolutely motionless until the strike. When you force your body to be still, you send a signal to your primal brain. We are safe. We are in control. We are at the top of the food chain. You stop performing confidence. You stop trying to think your way into it, and instead you place your body into a state of control, and your thoughts align with your biology. The performer tries to manage the body with the mind and fails. The real player uses the body to manage the mind. Breathing is the remote control of your nervous system. The moment you feel the urge to perform, to laugh nervously, to fill the silence, take a deep breath through your nose and slow everything down. Performers rush because they feel they are stealing time, speaking quickly out of fear that people will stop listening. Real confidence speaks slowly because it assumes it is worth listening to. It assumes if you interrupt me, that is your loss, not mine. This physical composure creates a barrier against other people's opinions. When you are firmly rooted, the insults and judgments of the world bounce off you. You are not a leaf in the wind, you are a stone in a river. Strategic vulnerability, the counterintuitive law. We now enter the deepest paradox of dark psychology. We are told that to be strong, we must hide our weaknesses, that we must be invulnerable. But Brené Brown in her research on vulnerability and the Stoics in their practice of acceptance discovered a counterintuitive law. Concealing weakness generates shame, while revealing it creates trust. The person who fakes confidence is terrified you will see their flaws. They burn enormous energy hiding the fact that they did not attend a prestigious university, that they are nervous, that they do not know the answer. The real person turns their flaws into a weapon. If you do not know the answer, look the person in the eye and say, I don't know. The performer thinks this is suicide. The master knows it is power. By admitting you don't know, you prove you are not afraid of the truth. You prove your ego is not fragile. And when you later deliver an answer, people will believe you because you established yourself as someone who speaks reality, not someone running a performance. This is strategic vulnerability. It does not mean crying in public or pouring your trauma onto strangers. That is a failure of discipline. It means inhabiting your reality so completely that no one can use it against you. In the final rap battle in the film 8 Mile, Eminem wins not by attacking his opponent, but by first exposing every one of his own weaknesses. I'm white, I'm broke, I really do live in a trailer with my mom. He stripped his enemy of all ammunition. He stood naked in his truth and became invincible. The liar always guards a secret. The real person has no secrets to protect. When you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. And when you have nothing to fear, you become terrifying to those who depend on fear to control you. Machiavelli knew that a prince who is transparent in his ruthless nature is more respected than a prince who pretends to be a saint while sinning in the dark. The hypocrite is despised. The honest sinner commands respect. Be the honest sinner. Acknowledge your ambitions. Acknowledge your ignorance. Acknowledge your desires. Yes, I want that promotion. Yes, I am angry about this. No, I do not want to come to your party. Truth cuts through noise like a blade. It shocks people. They are so accustomed to the soft, polite lies of social life that a clean truth feels like an act of violence. But it is the violence of the surgeon, cutting to heal. By being yourself, you give everyone around you permission to remove their own masks. You become a leader not by title, but by energy. You become the person who breaks the spell of collective pretense. The shadow. Integrating what you were told to hide. Confidence is not a dialogue with the world. It is a dialogue with yourself. The performer constantly asks, do they like me? Do they think I'm smart? Do they approve? His internal monologue is a frantic audience poll, as though he is running for office in his own head, desperately canvassing for votes. The real person's internal monologue is different. He speaks to himself the way a king speaks to a trusted advisor. Is this true? Is this useful? Do I respect myself right now? This shift is subtle but devastating. When you enter a high-stakes situation, a job interview, a date, a confrontation, the performer is obsessed with the outcome. He needs the job, he needs the girl, he needs the win. That need makes him weak, nervous, and eager to please. The real person is obsessed with his own conduct. He does not control the outcome. Fortuna, Machiavelli's fortune. He controls his virtù, his own actions. He tells himself, I will speak my truth. I will hold my position. I will not apologize for my existence. If I am hired, good. If not, I remain intact. This detachment from outcome is the highest power move available. In any negotiation, the most power belongs to the person who is willing to walk away. In life, the most confidence belongs to the person who is willing to be rejected. You must practice the so what exercise. What if I stutter? So what? What if they laugh? So what? What if I get fired? So what? I will find another way. I will survive. The performer treats these possibilities as fatal. The real player knows they're just another Tuesday. When you stop treating social rejection as death, you become dangerous. You become free. You realize that the only person who can truly reject you is you, and you have been rejecting yourself for years. Every time you laughed falsely, you rejected your sense of humor. Every time you suppressed your anger, you rejected your limits. Every time you performed someone else, you told your subconscious, the real you is not enough. Stop. Begin accepting yourself. Begin endorsing yourself. Carl Jung introduced the concept of the shadow, the part of you that society labeled bad, your aggression, your selfishness, your lust, your envy, your desire for power. The performer spends his whole life hiding his shadow. He pretends to be the nice guy. He pretends he does not want power. He pretends he is not angry. But the shadow does not disappear. It goes into the basement and lifts weights, becoming a monster. And when it finally erupts, it destroys everything. The real person does not hide the shadow. He integrates it. He acknowledges that he is capable of dark actions, that he wants to win, that he has teeth. Jordan Peterson famously said, "A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has that danger under voluntary control." When you integrate your shadow, you stop being nice and start being kind. Nice is fake. Nice is fear disguised as virtue. Nice is, please don't hurt me. Kind is a choice. Kind is, I could cause you harm, but I choose not to. There is a profound difference in energy between the nice guy and the integrated person. The nice guy feels weak. The integrated person feels solid. He feels like he has a loaded weapon in a holster, but keeps it closed. People respect the weapon. They respect the capacity for force. When you fake confidence, you typically try to hide your aggression. You try to appear harmless. Stop trying to appear harmless. Allow yourself to feel your own power. Allow yourself to feel your own capacity for destruction. And then choose to direct that power toward creation. Choose to direct it toward protection. Choose to direct it toward leadership. But do not deny it. When you enter a room, bring your shadow with you. Do not leave it in the car. Bring your full self. Dangerous, complex, complete. This gives you weight, a gravity that the performer can never achieve. The performer feels light as a balloon. The integrated person feels heavy as a mountain. The sovereign. What remains after the actor is dead? We have dissected the performer. We have killed the actor. What remains? The sovereign. The sovereign is not a tyrant. He does not need to humiliate others to feel large. He does not need to shout to be heard. He is simply real. He is comfortable with silence. He is comfortable with disagreement. He is comfortable with his own flaws. He knows he is not perfect, but he also knows he is not a fraud. He is a work in progress, and he is not ashamed of that work. This transition from external validation to internal authority. You stop asking the world, "Am I okay?" You begin telling the world, "This is who I am." And the paradox, the beautiful, dark, delicious paradox, is that the moment you stop trying to make people like you, they fall in love with you because they are starving for reality. They are drowning in a sea of performers. They are surrounded by people who are equally afraid. They are surrounded by masks. And then you walk in. You are not wearing a mask. You are not trying to impress. You simply exist. You are solid, tangible. You breathe. You tell the truth even when it causes discomfort. You become a lighthouse in the fog. People will be drawn to you. They will want to know your secret. They will ask, "How do you have that kind of confidence?" And you will smile because you will know. The secret is not confidence. The secret is simply the absence of lying. The secret is that you stopped performing. You stopped apologizing. You stopped running from your own shadow. You simply decided to be. This transformation does not happen instantly. The performer inside you will try to return. The old habits of pleasing, pretending, and hiding will attempt to seep back in when you are tired or under stress. But now you see them. Now you know what they are. They are cowardice mechanisms designed to keep you contained. Kill them. Every time the impulse arises to falsely agree, kill it. Express your disagreement. Every time you feel the urge to laugh when nothing is funny, kill it. Stay silent. Every time you want to conceal your ambitions, kill it. Declare your objective. At first, this will feel terrifying. You will feel exposed. You will feel vulnerable. And that is good. That feeling of vulnerability is the feeling of being born, not as a child, but as a sovereign person. The world belongs to the real. Performers inherit only their own anxiety. You have a choice today.